Have you been treating patients, Mr. Adams?
Well, sir, I live with several people. They come and go as they please. I offer them whatever help I can.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 biopics the original person didn't like.
Come on! How many of you people know you're alive?
For this list, we're looking at various biographical movies and TV series that the subject did not enjoy. What do you think of these biopics and how they portrayed the story? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, The Blind Side. A gooey, feel-good story for the ages, The Blind Side follows the uplifting story of football player Michael Orr.
Do you blame her for what happened?
No, I don't blame her at all. I mean, because everybody have their opportunity to do what they want to do. I got my opportunity and I made the best of it.
Orr suffered a horrible childhood as his father was frequently imprisoned and his mother was an inattentive alcoholic and drug addict. After suffering bouts of homelessness, Orr was adopted by Sean and Leanne Toohey, who helped guide him towards a career in football.
Well, because tonight is a special occasion.
What?
I talked to Coach Cotton, and he said that Michael's grades have improved enough that he can go out for spring football in March.
Isn't that great?
Orr was reportedly displeased with his portrayal in The Blind Side. He criticized the movie's depiction of his intelligence, writing in his autobiography, quote, "It portrayed me as dumb." The movie also falsely depicts Orr's relationship with football. According to Orr, he had loved and studied the game since he was a child, whereas in the movie, he doesn't really understand it.
Would you look at me, son? If you grab him outside here like this or that horse collar thing you just did, you're gonna get flagged and I'm gonna be pissed.
Number 9, The Fifth Estate. For this film, Benedict Cumberbatch donned white hair to portray Julian Assange, the famous founder of the controversial news-leaking website WikiLeaks.
It takes two things to change the world, and you'd be surprised how many people have good ideas. But commitment, true commitment, that's the hard one.
The story of the site's creation is certainly a fascinating one, but the Fifth Estate bungled it with poor writing and an inaccurate portrayal of Assange. Granted, this stemmed from the books on which the movie was based, which WikiLeaks called, quote, inaccurate and libelous.
That one is based on the two worst books full of lies and distortion, like all bad propaganda. Look, WikiLeaks movie, it's more like the anti-WikiLeaks movie.
Assange called the movie propaganda because it seemingly took a pro-government stance and depicted Assange in a negative and antagonistic manner. Basically, the movie about WikiLeaks went against everything that WikiLeaks stands for and openly condemned its founder. And as much as he hated the movie, Assange did praise Cumberbatch's performance.
I do know that he tried to ameliorate some of the worst elements of the script, but unfortunately with limited success.
Number 8, The Late Shift. Despite its funny subjects, this HBO film is all about corporate politics and behind-the-scenes power plays.
No, we think the world of Jay. We've noticed what he's been doing filling in for Carson, and we think he's ready to be a star right now.
And we have something no one else can offer him. 11:30, wide open.
Based on Bill Carter's book of the same name, The Late Shift chronicles the battle between Jay Leno and David Letterman to host The Tonight Show following Johnny Carson's retirement. And despite earning critical praise, the movie was hated by many of its subjects.
You know, the idea that we don't hate each other, right. The media makes a big thing about it.
Letterman humorously called the movie, quote, "the biggest waste of film since my wedding photos." He also bumped actor John Michael Higgins from appearing on his talk show and criticized his portrayal of him.
David, I know you want the job as much as Jay.
Listen, Brandon, I am not campaigning for anything.
I'm not saying you are. I just want you to know that we haven't forgotten.
Leno's agent, Helen Kushnick, also hated the story and sued author Bill Carter for libel. She was awarded an out-of-court settlement. Number 7, Notorious. Directed by George Tillman Jr., Notorious follows the life of famous rapper The Notorious B.I.G., real name Christopher Wallace.
You still hustling? So you don't get it twisted. I'm not against making money. My business is about the streets, but my business ain't in the street.
Naturi Naughton portrays Lil' Kim, and the famous rapper was not happy with how the movie turned out.
What's up, big mama?
What'd you just call me?
Big Mama.
Kim was in Wallace's group, Junior Mafia, and later had a so-called love affair with the famous rapper while making her debut album Hardcore. Kim took significant issue with the promiscuous manner in which she was depicted. Most of her scenes are tinged in graphic sexuality.
Sexy ass lyrics, you know, you kinda like. Might give me my hand, you better understand. Lil' Kim be the baddest bitch in Brooklyn.
She also criticized Naughton's performance, claiming that Naughton didn't look a thing like her, and that she was the worst possible pick from the audition tapes. Number 6. The Doors. Co-written and directed by Oliver Stone, The Doors was an incredibly inaccurate portrayal of both the band and its tragic lead singer Jim Morrison.
Promise you, I'll be with you to the end of time. Nothing will destroy our circle. Ride the snake.
Keyboardist Ray Manzarek was hostile from the beginning, which is ironic because Manzarek was the band's biggest advocate for a biopic. Manzarek reportedly hated what Stone was doing with the movie, how he was portraying the late Morrison, and how the movie was focusing on Morrison rather than the band as a unit.
The movie's jive. The movie is a portrayal of Morrison as a jerk and a drunken alcoholic, a jerk. I mean, I hate the guy in the movie. I wouldn't have anything to do with that guy in the movie.
He also refused to meet with Val Kilmer. But when the movie came out, Manzarek's bandmates went to his side. They all criticized the movie, and specifically the portrayal of Morrison. They claimed that Stone wrote a one-dimensional character and grossly exaggerated the singer's rage and alcoholism.
Well, come on, you want a little death? Then kill me. Go on, kill me. Come on.
Number 5. Patch Adams. Like The Blind Side, Patch Adams trades in authenticity for schmaltz. The movie was viciously lambasted both by critics and Hunter Adams himself.
So people ask me, Patch, is the movie real? And I let them know that first the movie embarrassed me.
Adams helped found the practice of hospital clowning. It's obviously a very sensitive subject, and the movie mines the inherent sentimentality for all it's worth. Adams has shown nothing but contempt for his movie. He openly criticized the shallowness of the writing and claimed that none of the box office profits were given to his Gesundheit Institute.
What's wrong with death, sir? What are we so mortally afraid of? Why can't we treat death with a certain amount of humanity and dignity and decency and, God forbid, maybe even humor?
And while he praised Robin Williams' performance, Adams was also critical of the actor for not giving to his charity, despite making over $20 million playing its founder. Number 4. Feud. A beloved miniseries from Ryan Murphy, Feud chronicles the famous rivalry between Joan Crawford and Bette Davis.
Well, that was a story and a feud of biblical proportion.
The series also features British-American actress Olivia de Havilland, who is played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. Just one day before she turned 101 years old, de Havilland filed a lawsuit against FX Networks for her inaccurate and harmful portrayal.
Yes, on Friday, screen legend Olivia de Havilland hitting the production with a lawsuit over her portrayal by Oscar winner Catherine Zeta-Jones, claiming it paints her in a false light. Take a look.
According to de Havilland, Feud damaged her professional reputation and caused her great emotional distress. However, the case was dismissed because filmmakers are protected under the First Amendment and are therefore allowed to embellish history for the purpose of drama.
Come on, Joan, give me a quote. You know my readers would be fascinated with hearing the thoughts of yesterday's it girl about today's.
Number 3. Pam and Tommy. Airing on Hulu throughout the winter of 2022, Pam and Tommy chronicles the brief marriage between Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee.
Me and Pam gonna make some babies.
Their marriage was famously marred by a personal tape that had been stolen and spread online in the early days of the internet.
So what do you want to talk about? Can you play high 8? Yeah, that's what we do.
The Hulu project has been hated by Anderson ever since its inception. Her offers to consult with the filmmakers were quickly declined, and a source claims that she adamantly refuses to watch the show.
Source tells People magazine that the show is re-exploiting Pamela and revisiting a, quote, very traumatic time in her life.
Anderson has also never commented on the performance and physical appearance of Lily James, despite some false reports that she had criticized the actress. Basically, Anderson is just turning a blind eye and pretending that Pam and Tommy doesn't exist. Number 2. House of Gucci. While it contains an interesting story, Ridley Scott's House of Gucci doesn't really know what it wants to be. The movie's inconsistent tone has been widely criticized, and many of the involved parties have condemned the film for being inaccurate.
You ever steal anything, Paula?
What?
Forgive me. I'm trying to teach Alessandra the importance of not touching other people's belongings.
Patrizia Gucci spoke for the family and told the Associated Press that they were, quote, truly disappointed with the movie.
Please don't patronize me, please.
Their chief concerns were the many historical inaccuracies and their isolation during the filmmaking process, as no one involved contacted the family for consultation. Even fashion designer Tom Ford criticized the movie's basis in history, claiming that the toasting scene between him and Maurizio Gucci was inaccurately portrayed.
Tom Ford is sharing his unfiltered thoughts on Ridley Scott's House of Gucci, and spoiler alert, he's not a fan.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Winnie Mandela. A Mandela movie deserves the utmost care and academic attention, and Winnie Mandela certainly did not get it.
I heard about the trouble you are having at home.
No political talk.
Is there anything we can discuss?
A glorified made-for-TV movie, Winnie Mandela tells the story of its titular heroine who fought alongside her husband to end apartheid in South Africa.
I hear how you're helping the local community. And I've been thinking if you work with me, then you can continue helping them and earn a living.
Numerous aspects of the movie's production were vilified. Before the film was released, vocal critics denounced the casting of Jennifer Hudson, as she was an American playing a South African. Mandela was also displeased with her movie. While she praised Hudson, Mandela criticized the filmmakers for not consulting with her during the writing and filming process.
We must unite in the struggle, together, hand in hand, with our boxes of matches and necklaces. We shall liberate this country.
This was made even more egregious owing to the fact that the movie was filmed in South Africa, which is where Mandela resides. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.